roundabout test, and it really is holding on brilliantly. Excellent. Oh, it actually handles really, really good. Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog and welcome to another car review. And this time we're in an EV and we are in the Fiat 500e. Obviously E being electric, first pure electric 500. Now it's rocking 130 horsepower and great affordability effectively. £29,000, which, you know, for a little car seems a lot, but these good EVs with good decent range are normally somewhere thereabouts that price. So actually I think it's quite an affordable car, quirky, lovely, nice looking thing that is meant to handle really quite nicely. So I'm kind of quite excited to actually drive it. We are going to do a 0-60 test as well. Claim 0-60 is 9 seconds flat, which is good enough, you know, it's adequate for what you need. Let's see what we can do with it nonetheless. Other than that, it is, you know, pretty much the Fiat 500 in here, but it's got some nice little features which I'm going to talk to you all about when I go into my drive video. But yeah, without further ado, let's go on and review this. And like I say, if you've got any questions about this car, please hit us up in the comment section. We'll be sure to answer your questions. Show you a quick little general round video of the interior. So it's actually materials used are really nice. These seats are lovely and comfortable. Got some nice little things like this 500 logo here. There is enough seat headroom. Obviously is quite tight, but this leg room is relatively small, but it's still decent. You can get 4 decent sized adults in here. Yeah, maybe not on the rear in terms of height, but yeah, it's a really nice place to be. I'm going to close this. A lot of nice little features as well in here, like I say, for the money. Lovely, really high quality displays on the driver's side and the main infotainment system over here. Lots of nice features, sat nav, etc. We've even got, put it into reverse. There is a reverse camera as well. Sat nav's just there. It comes up here as well. Really nice. Got a little roll dialer down here, and you can change the modes. I'm just changing it here, and if I get you there, if you look at the up there, you've got different modes. You've got an normal, which as you'd expect, just a kind of standard type. Then you've got range if you want to get a bit faster, sorry, a bit further, so a better range. And Sherpa, yeah, like I say, it's got a lovely steering wheel with a minor flat body bottom on the bottom of that, but it's a lovely, nice kind of size steering wheel. Nice high quality leather, really nice. And the materials in general actually using here, yes, maybe if you tap them they rattle a little bit, but in general the feel of the plastics and the bits and bobs that are around in here are actually really quite nice, especially for the money. It's got a remote door or electronic door open, so it releases electrically. And I hear you ask, well, what if it fails? Well, they've thought about that, which is mega. There is a manual pull button as well. Really cool, nice little features. Really simple, lots of straightforward, normal kind of manual mechanical buttons, which I love, rather than having to go into the infotainment system here. Simple drive buttons here as well. If you're not sure what you're doing, it will always let you know how to, what you have to do, what you have to press, etc. Really good, lovely, intuitive functionality everywhere. Lights, traction control as well. Really nice interface with everything. I like that. Another thing that's worth noting for you family friendly people, it has front, so in the front passenger side Isofix, which is epic. They are in the rear as well, but you may have a bit of an issue unless you pull this forward a lot, but you'd normally get a decent size I can't remember what they call your carrier, baby carrier in there, but if not, you'll get a huge one in this side. So front and rear, really good feature. Right, okay, let's go straight away onto some of the drive modes. Obviously, what do they mean? They're adjusted on this little E mode kind of scroller, and effectively you can go in 3 different modes. Normal in general is probably the best, the most fun to drive per se, I guess. That's what I like to drive it on, probably the most sporty mode. Basically, normal mode will just make the car feel completely normal. You just have accelerative performance on the throttle, and you've got no battery brake regenerative force being applied. You have to apply the brake yourself. On the next mode, which is range, let's just change it into that. Range now basically introduces everything in the same mode except for the battery or brake regenerative force is on. So the one pedal driving is on. So I can literally let off the throttle and I am coming to a complete stop. And then just drive on normally. So I do like that at the best of times. It does work really well. It helps really keep the range up. These have a range of between 110 to 220 miles depending on how you drive it. They can recharge in really fast times. I'll put all the tech specs on the bio, or have it coming up on the VT now for you. It really is quite good. Like I say, this regen braking works really well, but if you don't want that, you can go onto normal mode and it feels like a very normal kind of Fiat 500. So the most efficient mode, you go on this mode called Sherpa, and basically what that does is it re-brakes, but it also turns off all your aircon and things like that, so it really will get you the best range out of the car. So yeah, if you want to really eke out the miles, Sherpa is the way to go. If you want an in-between with regenerative braking, range is the one. And if you want it just to feel like a really normal car, which you may do in some instances, then you go to normal. I'm going to drive it in normal for most of the drive, and then probably put it back onto the range mode just so we can get a bit of extra mileage. It makes me think that I suspect the brakes are actually really quite good. So let's have a little go. They are, but when you put the range mode on, it feels like the brakes are even more. You get even more assistance because almost like the transmission is slowing you down as well as the brakes. It's incredible, really good, and it works very well. But no, it's a small little car. Like I say, this isn't a performance car or anything like that, but the brakes are really decent, and straight away the car, like I say, although it's electric and it does feel nice and calm and it's nice and quiet in here, it does feel pretty normal, if that makes sense. It feels like just a normal everyday car. Steering weight is very light, as you'd expect from a lot of these EVs and a lot of the kind of city cars. It's probably what you want at the best of times in this kind of car, but it really, like I say, it really does feel like quite sprightly. And I have to say, it's 0 to 60 in 9 seconds, but it's definitely got plenty of good pace. It feels like it's got plenty enough to enjoy and be, you know, sprightly enough to get around a car, you know, a stationary car. If you've got to put your foot down and get past it, it feels decently quick. I mean, it's not going to break any speed records, but most people that drive this kind of car won't want that anyway. But in general, it's really nice, and it's got a nice responsive pedal, and it handles and feels like a normal 500, which is a good thing because they handle really well. Like I say, you're not going to get a headache in here. It's nice and quiet, nice and refined. It seems to kind of just iron out the bumps nicely and take this real nice country drive very well. And I have to say, so far I am very impressed. And as you expect, and yeah, as you would think, there is no sport mode on this car. There is a normal, which is about as sporty as it gets, but in general, nothing that makes this car more responsive and angry and evil. You wouldn't expect that. I mean, look at it. It feels very safe, doesn't it? But overall, nonetheless, these cars do have good chassis, and they've managed to keep the batteries nice and sunk down low. So I'm going to do a roundabout test, and it really is holding on brilliantly. Excellent. Oh, it actually handles really good. I proper rung it round that roundabout and then took it into a transition and out into another area, and yeah, it really does grip really well. These little Conti Eco Contact tyres mated to this nice little chassis with the weight hunkered down with those batteries nice and low. It's really doing a good job, I have to say. Traction control is light was just flashing there, so obviously it's got enough power to make the front wheel scramble. Obviously front wheel drive, as I said. but it doesn't feel like scary or anything like that. But you can have fun with it, in the sense of if you did have this as a little eco car on the side, just to really get you some nice range and really kind of keep costs down for you once you've bought the car, you can kind of go out in it and have a bit of fun. Put it in normal mode, and like I say, it handles great. It really does. I mean, it genuinely does. I'm not even joking. I'm not saying it because I have to, because I don't. I'm a media bod, and I do manufacturer testing, and I do not need to say what, you know, the manufacturer may want me to say. We are independent, and we are allowed to say what we want to say, and we do. But that handles really, really good, and I am very, very impressed with the handling and drive of this car so far. Obviously, transmission, I don't need to talk to you too much about that, because it's seamless, in the sense of it doesn't need to be seamless, because there is one gear. Most of these e-cars do have pretty much one gear, so there's no kind of transmission jolt or changing that needs to be done. But yeah, really impressed thus far. So practicality, yes, let's go on to practicality. How practical is it? Like I say, it's a small car, but actually it has a decent amount of space for everyone, like, you know, a small family maybe, but you probably tend to want to have a bigger car than this anyway. But it's brilliant if you have got a small child or a couple of small children, and, you know, a partner. You can go to wherever you need to go in this, and it does and will do a really good job. It's got a reasonably ample size boot. Obviously it's not going to be that big, but it's decent enough. But overall, it would be a really, really good car to be able to daily, 100%. If you need something sportier and want something sportier, obviously this wouldn't be the car for you. But if it's not, and it's a nice little thing on the side that will just keep saving you money, and maybe you've got a little something naughty on the side, it wouldn't be a bad car to have. I tell you, it drives so well, and it handles really well, and it's actually really fun to drive, and it's decently quick, which I'm going to find out for you in a moment as well. It feels quick to me. 0 to 62 is 9 seconds flat. Right, let's do a little 0 to 60 test and see what this will do to 60. Let's see if it can do the claimed 0 to 60 in 9 seconds flat. It felt decent. 6.95. We've just done 0 to 60 in 6.95, guys. Very, very impressive. So yeah, claimed 0 to 60 is 9 seconds flat. We just did a 6.95 0 to 60. 6.95. These electric cars, the grip and what they do is just insane. 6.95. Look at the size of it. Look at it. It's just, it's mad. This is effectively a little eco car. It should be a little eco car. I told you guys, 6.9 0 to 60, superb, absolutely superb. So it's a quick little nippy little car that will get you out of trouble, that you'll be able to have a lot of fun with. It handles really nicely, and honestly, whether you're transitioning and you know, darting left, right, and almost doing a slalom, or you're taking it on normal B roads and having fun with it, or going around a roundabout, this car actually does hanker down and grips, and it really does drive really well. I'm really, really impressed, I have to say. Well done, Fiat. You've made a really, really cracking little car. So that is the end of our drive in the Fiat 500e, and I have to say, I'm actually massively surprised. I knew I'd kind of like it to some extent, because I've always liked the 500. I've driven even the normal ones, and then obviously the R-Bath, which is a mad version of, you know, an adapted one of these effectively. But I have to say, I thought it would be half decent. I knew the chassis would be half decent, but because it's electric, you always think it's carrying a bit of weight, and I honestly thought it was going to be decent, okay, all of the above. But actually, I really enjoyed that more than I thought I should. But it doesn't matter. It is what it is. I shouldn't be thinking, why should I like something like this? Because if something's good, it's good. And I do just think they've done a really good job with that. I've driven some other good fast EVs that are small, and I have to say this is up there with the absolute best. And for a super mini, and as super minis go, this is probably one of the best I've ever driven, actually. So if you are in the market for something like this, guys, honestly, go and drive it. I'm sure you'll like it yourself. If you can't get a test drive, be safe in the knowledge that you will love it when you get it, because I'm telling you, go and buy one. If you're in the market for it and you've got circa £30,000 and you've got kind of that, like say you want a range of 200 in real world conditions, easy 150 to 160 all day long from what I've seen, look no further. It is an absolutely awesome car. Dynamics in terms of the way it feels through the steering wheel, through your bum, and just the general driver dynamics and handling, considering it's a relatively eco-friendly car. Its range per kilowatt output is incredible. It is a really, really fun, great drive. So you'll enjoy it daily. Guys, if you've got any questions, hit us up as always. I hope you enjoyed the drive. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.